that wasn't supposed to happen.
So quiet, that's kind of like a little mingling, bring you in song. Wow. So we are delighted to be with you here today, and we're going to share a joy song that came to me many years ago, based on a godly quote. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. And we're going to sing that a lot through, so we'll get you grooved on the melody, and then we're going to have as much fun as possible. to dance? That's cool. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Like a Macarena, we got hand movements. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. If every journey begins with a single step, I'm taking my first step now. If we are to be the change that we want to see, I'm changing myself now. Always a good place to start. The one in the mirror. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Well, I'm going to go for you. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Yeah. Instead of waiting for there to be peace on earth, make peace within you now. Yo, 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 don't wait for peace to come. Be the change you want to see. God just said that, yo. And now a word from our sponsor.
Now a word from our sponsor.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know if I don't want to make anything squeak, so we're gonna see what we can see, do what we can do, and I'm gonna do my best not to squeak. Let me come over here.
Oh, sure.
I think there's some extra cord. Let me see if I can adjust.
Ooh, thank you. I appreciate it. So something y'all might have noticed in the middle or the beginning of Armand and Angelina's song is that we're having some technical issues. So I'm not even gonna mess with technology today, other than the fact that this is being live streamed. Thank y'all for live streaming this. So what I'd love to do first is welcome Armand and Angelina. Thank you so much for being here in Oklahoma City. Armand is an award-winning songwriter, an inspirational speaker whose enthusiastic presence inspires us all to live life passionately. Angelina's angelic and heart-opening voice draws from many languages. She was classically trained at Indiana University and was formerly with Epcot Center. They are international performers using songs, stories, and humor to remind us now to open our hearts and remember that we are meant to experience heaven on earth. So I'm so grateful that they're basically doing a spiritually uncuffed takeover today. And I am with it. Like anytime, I always tell y'all, somebody send me an email, have a conversation. You want to take over spiritually uncuffed? You do you. This is the space for that. And I'm incredibly grateful that they reached out and offered to bless us with their wisdom and their presence and their talent today. So that's what's going to happen is they're doing their whole takeover and we are along for the ride. So what we would do, first of all, let me just first say, my name is Reverend Casey Taylor. Woo! I use they, them pronouns. I am the senior minister here at the United Life Center for Spiritual Living. And our vision and mission, I'm going to break it up into pieces, and I'm going to invite you to affirm it with me. And know, we say that I've been saying this every week, that if any part of our mission statement feels incomplete, or any part of our mission statement feels like it doesn't resonate with you, know that this is a space where we are open at the top, that open dialogue is important. So if at any point you're like, you know what, it needs to say this, or you know what, I don't agree with that, let's have a conversation. We don't just throw out babies with bathwater around here, but we absolutely have conversations and identify the best path forward together as a community. So if at any part of this you don't agree with, feel free not to repeat it. Feel free to have a conversation with me after the fact. So our mission is that we are a loving, inclusive community.
We are a loving, inclusive community.
Joyfully expressing spirit.
Joyfully expressing spirit.
We empower each other.
We empower each other
To live happy, healthy, abundant lives.
to live happy, healthy, abundant lives.
We honor, celebrate, and support
We honor, celebrate, and support
each individual's awakening
each individual's awakening
to their spiritual magnificence.
to their spiritual magnificence.
I said that all out of order, but whatever, we did it, and it's all true. It's all true. So that's who we are. That's how we operate. And if you have thoughts, come talk to me about that. So this is the time for our meditation and prayer portion of our service. People have been like, what is Spiritually Uncuffed? Is it a service? Is it an event? Is it a celebration? What's the word? Some people are like, your deal, whatever that deal is. And I'm like, like whatever word you want to call it. I use service all the time. Whatever word you want to describe what we do together, to come together in community, to pray, to celebrate, to empower each other, to live happy, healthy, abundant lives. Your word, just like your word for God, whatever word you like to use for who we are and how we show up, we are welcome to. So I would love to invite Armand and Angelina up here once again to lead us in the prayer and meditation portion of our service.
What a delight, though, to be with so many wonderful, huge energies here. This is the place, this is the organic center, because it moves and grows, and we feel very blessed that the universe directed us right here, right now. You made a couple comments about structure and order and technology, lots of left brain thinking. The world is moving, from what I can see, more and more to a balance between left brain and right brain thinking, and having the left brain stuff go out a little makes space for that right brain energy to flow in.
Left brain, right brain, maybe some don't know what that is,
So,
or explain
you
that.
most probably know, but left brain is the more logical, analytical, structured, ordered part of things, and then the more creative, right brain, empathic, we are all one, there's no separation, and we need both. And our brains know we need both. That's why there's half on one side and half on the other. And you probably know that the left brain deals with the right side of the body, right brain deals with the left side of the body. As I tell Angelina, if the left brain deals with the right side of the body, the right brain deals with the left side of the body, then left-handed people are the only people in their right mind. So anyway, we'll move into our meditation now, which also is a very right-brained kind of energy. And again, we're not looking to let go completely of what the left brain has brought to the earth. We're trying to balance the two together the way our brain wants us to do. So we will start with a simple chant. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. And thank you so much for letting us flow. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Join us if you like. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. Peace I am, peace in every moment, peace in every moment, peace I am. And we invite you to close your outer eyes if you'd like. Quiet the mind. Allow the voice of spirit, your soul, the eternal part of you that was here before your life began and will be here after. The eternal part of the one mind. We invite you to breathe in more peace and oneness. Breathe out and share that peace and oneness with the world. Breathe in more full expression of who you came here to be. And breathe out and release all that no longer serves you. Allow the music now to take you on your very own sacred journey into the peace and truth of who you are. gently now, begin to bring your attention to your physical body, this human vehicle that allows us to navigate this miracle of human life. Feel your chair. The sacredness of this sanctuary where we come to remember and remind ourselves and each other we are glorious, divine beings of light. Spiritual beings having a human experience. Thank you, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, Goddess, all that is. And we say together, and so it is. And in this knowing, this truth, we are reminded that regardless of appearances, in the big picture, all is well. All is well. All is well. God is balanced. All is well. There's perfection everywhere. All is well. And more people showed up, like loaves and fish. Hello, Ashley. Loaves and fish. More and more. Thank you for being here. I think it's time for another joy song. We're almost standing room only. Did anyone else see the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel movie? Okay, that's the first. Highly recommended. The innkeeper in this place, I think it might have been Mumbai, I'm not sure where they had it take place, but he was a very positive person. We talked a little bit last night about the word pronoia, where you believe everything is working on your behalf, even the stuff that you don't like, that the universe is conspiring on your behalf. The opposite of paranoia is pronoia. This young innkeeper, played by Dev Patel, had that attitude. So when people would complain, and many did at his hotel, he would always say, everything would be okay at the end. And they would say, yes, but it's not okay now. He'd go, okay, it's not the end. And I remember that, and I started repeating that. Everything will be okay in the end. It started helping us get through challenging times. Angelina would see me at my computer and go, ah, and she'd go,
Everything will be okay in the end.
it helped. It helped. It made it a little easier to go through the challenges.
Because we always play, be playful and play games with any time we have stress, and all kind of helps our little child to feel heard, and it just helps us move on.
So that's a good one. So then one day I started singing it. May I have a chord? Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. And so we would just sing it, because they say when you pray, let's see, when you pray and you sing, it's like praying twice. So it adds a little extra. And if you dance while you're praying and singing. So anytime you do an affirmation and try to find a way to sing it or move along with it, it's like a turbocharge for your treatments, okay? So then it became a whole song. So we would like to share it with you now. It's a very simple melody, and again, your part is everything will be okay.
And there's some shalalas in it.
And there's shalalas. I'm sorry. If you lose words, just shalala. Okay. And you gotta put it to an island beat if you want to get the shalala happening. Here we go. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Nothing in this universe will ever last. So if you're feeling low, this too shall pass. Because everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. It's sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Oh yeah, every happy song is sha-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Even when the darkness seems to hide your way, after every night, a brand new day. Even when the darkness seems to hide your way, after every night, a brand new day. A brand new day. I'm sunny Oklahoma City day. We got plenty of sun. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Just the audience. It's much louder here, folks. It's not the end. It's not the end. Okay, let's sha-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la-la. Sha-la-la-la-la. Okay, here comes the tricky part. Even when it all just seems to go your way, don't get attached, it's gonna change. Even when it all just seems to go your way, no matter how many times you saw the secret, it's still gonna change. That's okay, son. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. Everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. It's not the end. It's not the end. So if you don't like the weather, how you gonna say it's not the end? It's not the end. You can't believe what we talk about on TV, on politics. It's not the end. It's not the end. Of the song.
Thank you. Well, our talk today is titled, Is Healthy Relationship an Oxymoron? And we will be sharing tools and experience that have helped us manage through the challenging yoga stretches of relationship yoga.
Yes, they say relationship yoga, the most challenging, stretchy of them all. And there are so many wonderful tools that we can use in relationships to help them be healthier more and more and more. It's easy in new relationships, especially romantic relationships, because this pink cloud comes in and just sprinkles stardust and sparkles everywhere. But as you get to know somebody more and more and they get to know you, then intimacy starts to happen, and that's where it requires more yoga stretches.
That's right. So let's start off with what is an oxymoron and give some examples.
Oh, I love oxymorons. So in case you've heard it, like jumbo shrimp, that's an oxymoron. Patiently waiting, You're either patient or you're waiting. And another oxymoron that I heard that I really liked, if I can't remember it. Oh, constructive criticism. No, constructive feedback is a true thing. But if it's criticism, it will always be destructive on some level because you're putting down the person. Now, I said this one time, and I wouldn't say it again because I decided I would never do that, but I said military intelligence. But I wouldn't say that again because I got in trouble for saying that. It was on an Air Force base, but that's okay. Anyway, that went over like a ton of break. All right. First off, let's acknowledge one of the great things about healthy relationships is acknowledging people, being grateful to people, and thanking them for who they are and what they brought. I would like to thank Tasha for her amazing program this morning. What a blessed group you are to start with that. It's like, it just felt like it was so short.
I couldn't leave. I told you I was going to leave and kind of just get ready and do my thing before we stopped talking. It was just so wonderful. I couldn't get up and go.
In space terms, she got sucked in a tractor beam and she couldn't leave. It was
so wonderful.
It was what a fantastic way to start the morning, to start the spiritually uncuffed by letting go and having those bowls get in, because music has a way of getting in places where the mind might not want to get any extra love and energy, and then the music says we're going anyway. We're going to raise you raise your vibration. Okay,
so let's talk about relationship. We're not just talking about partners, romantic relationship. We're talking about relationships with family members, co-workers, friends, relationships with everyone that we're,
I've learned most of my best tools in romantic relationships because that was the most difficult for me. Before Angelina, I had 12 life partners that I thought I was going to spend my entire life with. And then there was always something that fell apart. And I used to joke about that in the beginning, they would really dig my assertiveness. I was like, let's go do this, let's try this, we'll do anything. If it looks a little bit dangerous, when do we sign up? But in the beginning, assertive, later they dropped the ertive. And there was only 3 letters left. And that became the energy that I would feel sometimes. And it was because some of the things that I did were no longer fun. And so what I realized, I kept saying, I keep picking the wrong people. And this is going to sound a little bit weird, but if I would go into a nightclub or something, the person that had the most dysfunction was somehow the most attractive to me. I can't figure out why that happened, but if I think about it globally, there was a lesson for me to learn. So I needed to confront and deal with that and blah, blah. And so more and more, when I finally got down to it, probably about 1996, I guess, I was 35. And I said, I need to find the common denominator in all these relationships. The truth shall set you free, but first it may piss you off. I wanted to find out what they were doing wrong, to see what was happening, and I realized it was me. And without going into a lot of details of it, because of certain things that happened in my childhood, I had this belief system, this mind virus, this lie that said the women in my life will stick around for 2 or 3 years at the most, and then they will leave. Now, I can hold certain people accountable for planting that seed in me when I was young, but I'm the one that watered it for all those years. I watered that seed of I will be abandoned. And guess what happens when you water a seed of abandonment? It grows. So I kept having the same thing happen over and over and over again until I said, I've got to let go of this deep core belief that, again, is a lie. It's not the truth. It's a virus. I really believe that this church or this center right here, this deal, is a form of antivirus. We come in here to help discover what viruses are limiting our full potential and let them go. And one of the greatest things you can do is accept people for just who they are, which I can't imagine a more embracing, inclusive, accepting group than this. I'm not going to exaggerate and say I've never seen one, although it does feel like that. I'm going to say what is actual fact. I can't imagine one being more, okay, than this. And that is very, very healing to our psyche. And it helps remove those viruses. So I became committed to learn how to love myself. You know, a lot of people remember quotes off. They don't get it exactly right. Like they'll say, love thy neighbor, but they forget the other part, as thyself. Who finds it easier to love others than themselves sometimes? We have more ammunition on ourselves than we have on others, and that comes up, so we use it against ourselves. So that is really one of the most important parts of healthy relationship, is healthy relationship with yourself and to love yourself. If you see a little baby and you go, that is a beautiful, innocent child of God, deserving of all the love and joy of the universe, that has to be about you too, no matter what age you are. That has to be about you. They even say it on airplanes. They say, in case of cabin pressure problems, a couple of masks will fall. Please place yours on firmly first. In other words, take care of yourself, and then assist small children. If you have 2 children, pick your favorite. They do not say that. They don't say that. But anyway, but that is a nice metaphor for take care of yourself. Get yourself filled up first. And so those kinds of relationship tools help us love ourselves better, and thus we can help others more. We study a wonderful man by the name of Greg Bear. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him. His material is called Real Love. Real love in marriage, real love in the workplace, real love in raising children. And it all kind of revolves around the same kind of thing. Healthy relationship tools, so you don't create more drama in the world.
Right.
Who thinks the world has enough drama we don't need to add to it? Ooh, that's good, okay.
Right. He talks about behaviors that we get in and that are, you know, it's good to know, recognize when we're in a behavior. He says it's either protecting or getting. But if you can like kind of just stand back and go, wow, why am I in that behavior? Or I don't feel like I'm being kind and loving right now. I may need to leave right now and come back. I have that. I do that because through menopause and the little thing that heats up, and then you know you just get a little crazy. We call her Medusa. My crazy person is Medusa. And I found
crazy, awesome, protective.
well, in that moment, I'm not always kind and loving, and I've waited too long to in that space before. And if I don't leave before I blow up, then it becomes not pretty. So what I've learned is, if we're having a heated conversation and it gets to where I can't be kind and loving or even think kind of loving thoughts, I say, I have to leave right now. I'm not abandoning the conversation, but if I don't leave right now, it's going to be really awful and ugly, and I just need to sit outside and see what's going on. And so I sit outside in my little chair, and I sit there, and I don't ever go back in the house until I know what it is that got triggered. Most of the time, it's just my stuff, and I don't come in and talk about it, because if it's my stuff, it's just my stuff, and I can apologize. But if it's something that needs to be talked about, we need to talk about it so that that doesn't happen again. So I usually come back in the house, and 99% my stuff, and I always say, you know, I'm sorry, it was just me and my stuff, and I apologize.
And 99% of the time I realize I could have said it in a better way. While she's out there, I'm in here going, what did I say? Oh, you know, I know her past. I know trigger words. I know loaded words. I didn't mean to say it that way. And so we both get something, but away from each other. Because if you're doing this, he calls that the field of death, where no one gets out alive. And so that really, really helps. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
So Greg Bear also talks about the law of choice and the law of expectation. And so if you have an expectation, there's going to be disappointment. And so having an expectation isn't ideal. Law of choice, if I say, Armand, I would love for you to make the bed today. He has the choice to say, I don't want to make the bed today. So I have to be okay with that, because if I make him or get upset or angry that he's not going to make the bed, then it's really not a loving request. You can give a loving request and say, will you make the bed today?
Yeah, if you make a request and you get angry, that was really an expectation. And your body, your internal guidance system, any Abraham Hicks students and all that, she says your GPS is going off all the time, redirecting route. When you get angry, disappointed, and any of that kind of stuff, it's your internal emotional system saying, this is not working. The energy that you're feeling right now isn't working. When you look at somebody and judge them, redirecting route. When you look at somebody and say, what a fabulous person, you feel good. Your GPS keeps going on that. We like to use on ways, you can use all these different people to speak. We like to use dog. And so if you miss your turn, dog goes, make a U-turn. That's almost like fetching yourself. You know, and we just love hearing dog talk to us when we go, police ahead. Can I hit the horn just one time, please? You know. So anything that makes us happy and feel childlike, we like to have fun with that. But yeah, those internal emotional guidance systems are guiding you to help you work through the challenges and what will make the relationship blossom and what will diminish it.
So we also studied the book, The 5 Love Languages. Is anyone familiar with that? Well, it's a really good thing to know what your love language is, but also to know what your partner's love language is.
Or your friend.
Or your friend, right. Or your family member. So the love language, I'm going to read it off. The book is by Gary Chapman, I believe. And it's receiving gifts, acts of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, and quality time. And so I have 2. Mine is physical touch and quality time. And yours, I think, is
physical touch and quality time.
So when I was first married, my husband's was gifts. And he always gave me gifts. And I didn't want gifts. I just wanted him to hold my hand, or let's just sit down and do something together. But that wasn't his love language. But if I had known about the love language at the time, that every time he gave me a gift, that was his way of showing he loved me. But I didn't want that. But once we know what each other's love language is, then maybe we can go, oh, they need quality time, that's their love language. Let's go out and have a day together. You know, so I find that that's a good thing to.
And if he had known your love language, that would have been horrible, because you might still be with him.
I don't.
Anyway, it worked out. But yeah, so a lot of these relationship tools, the Enneagram. Any Enneagram students out there? Enneagram. So we find the Enneagram is a great way to know kind of what your shadow and your gifts are. Because when you know what your shadow is of your number, you can go, oh, I can see myself going into that behavior. Richard Rohr, who is a Franciscan monk. Any Richard Rohr fans? So Richard, to me, Richard Rohr, even though he's a Franciscan priest monk, is one of the most New Thought people I've ever run across in my whole life. Goes to show you, the tent of spirituality is very big. We can all find our little group in there. What people will say to him, well, I don't want to know what my Enneagram number is or any personality profile. I don't want to know any of that, because that just puts you in a box. And Richard goes, no, it shines light on the box you already put yourself in and helps you get out. So that's what we love to find out, the different personality types and the Enneagram numbers and the love languages. Those are all fabulous tools to understand that when her hubby, what she calls him her husband gave her gifts, is because that was his love language, and he thought it must be hers too. We're not, have you ever noticed we're not all alike? I like this one. Every single one of you is completely unique, just like everyone else. But it kind of unifies us. We're all completely unique, like everyone else. Okay, so what you got now?
Well, here's something. Extrovert, introvert. So Armand is extrovert. I'm the introvert. And so I need, introverts recharge by being by themselves. Extroverts love to be around people, and they get recharged by being around people. So we have had to learn how to make that work, right? So we're on the road a lot, and we're with people a lot and doing things a lot. And it took me many years to understand why after like 10 days, 2 weeks, I am so drained, I can hardly just even move. I just want to be by myself and not be around people. And it's really conflicting for me because I love being with people, I love what we do, but if I don't take care of my introvertedness, then I'm no good. So we have learned that every week to 10 days, I get a nothing day. And that means we go to a hotel room and we don't do. Armand used to think that meant that we still would go to a zoo or do something fun, but no, we stay in the room until the next day. And then I'm good to go. But it's good to know, like, even those kind of things. Like, he knows that when I'm starting to kind of crash, he recognizes that and knows that I need to be alone. And an extrovert, I don't know, he's always, well, you even say when we do the nothing day, it's good for you too.
The older I get, the more I appreciate my inner introvert. And so what you realize, if you've ever done the Myers-Briggs type work, the first two letters is either extrovert or introvert, but those are your dominants. That doesn't mean you don't have a submissive. Let me tell you, this girl in an arcade has an extrovert that goes nuts for like Break the Plate, Guitar Hero, skee ball, air hockey. And I'm going, what's going on? As she gave her introvert, as we together, but mostly she by strongly making it apparent that if I didn't, there would be problems. Giving her introvert what her introvert craved, that this career often doesn't offer her, the introvert could feel fully self-expressed, so then her inner extrovert felt more comfortable coming out. Okay, and the same thing for me. My inner introvert loves our nothing days. Tomorrow we're going to the metropolis of a place called Ardmore.
Yeah.
It's halfway in between anybody we know.
Right.
And we have friends in Richardson, and we have friends in Oklahoma City, and so it's right in the middle. And she gets her nothing day now. So I was saying, but there's like this museum, there's a Gene Autry museum on the way, there's a little casino, they probably have an arcade. She goes, it's a nothing day. We check into the hotel. I said, okay, well, we'll check into the hotel, and then on Tuesday, we can go, to the little drive-through safari that's in like Paul's Valley, whatever that is. She goes, no, that's not a nothing day, that's a something day. So to me, nothing means we're just not gonna be working. So again, it's taken us 25 years.
Too, because when you're kind of down sometimes, and I always say, let's go out and do something. Let's go to a theme park. We're Disney freaks. We love Disney. We live in Orlando, so it's like, let's go to Disney. Like one day you had some kind of emotional breakdown or something, and so we just gone to Disney. I had an eye appointment, so we had to get back, and then he got in the car and he goes, I'm just so out of sorts. I'm like, let's go back to Disney right now. And so we went back to Disney. So it's good to know and recognize when we're both, like when we're out of sorts or not feeling our best self.
And really, to me, one of the most challenging relationship yoga moves is the yoga of knowing that what works for you may actually hurt the other. It took me a long time because I thought, who doesn't want to have fun all the time? Because I'm always, my job is to book the gigs and find fun things to do and people to see. That's basically my job. She does almost everything else. And so I was trying to fill all those spots. Well, we didn't get a gig this day, but there's a zoo. We didn't get a gig this day, there's a museum, there's an arcade, blah, blah. And finding that balance with everybody learning their love language, learning what works for them, there is a way to co-create together. And guess what? It's way better than singing in unison. Singing in unison is kind of monotony, but singing diversity is harmony. And you find the notes that work well with each other, but they're not the same notes.
Right, and so we're talking a lot about our relationship, but it's good for family members too. Like, so we're at, say, Christmas or Thanksgiving, and my nephew is a very big introvert. And so when I see him sitting by himself, that's okay. It's like, sometimes I was still, because I have that shyness too. So when I enter a room or enter a party, I still go, okay, you got this, you can do this. And I go and it's okay. But when I was younger, like in my 20s, people would say, you're so quiet, you're so shy. Who wants to be shy and be told they're shy? But then once I was like, when they say, you're so shy, I'm like, yeah, I am, because I accept that, I know that, and if, so if you see someone, a family member, or you're at a party and someone's like, by themselves, that's okay, and don't judge them, and don't say, why are you blah, 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 just, or say, just feel it out. But anyway, I just love knowing where people are so that you can honor them and support them and love them.
And honoring, I think that's what we're all here for, to honor each other, honor each other's beauty, show up the way you show up, let other people show up the way they show up, as long as it's not abusive, as long as it's not interfering too much with your space. There's a time for those healthy boundaries. That's also part of a healthy relationship, is good, healthy boundaries. Brene Brown says people that have the strongest no are the ones you can trust their yeses the most, because if it weren't a yes, they would say no. So it's okay to be with people that have a very strong no. I'm sure a lot of this is me preaching to the choir. You've already studied and learned all this stuff, but it's good to rehear it. And Brene Brown is another one of our favorite people, and she says, everybody deserves your love, but not everybody deserves your trust. People have to earn your trust and prove they're worthy of your trust, not just your love. Your love is there. There's a great saying, I'm sure you've heard this before you say something, ask yourself these 3 questions. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? The first one is it true? If it's not true, probably don't say it, unless you're pranking your partner, and then it's okay to say stuff that's not true, because it's a prank. But, I add that. If the answer of it is true is yes, and you want to say it, but you're still concerned, ask yourself, is it kind or is it necessary? If it's kind, why not? It's true and it's kind. You look wonderful today. Will almost always be true and kind. If it's not kind, like, I need to let you know that something you're doing doesn't work for me, that's not exactly kind in the moment, but it's necessary, okay? It's necessary, and ultimately it will be kind. I have a shirt that I got at Disney in a place called the Yak and Yeti, which is near the Himalayan area of Animal Kingdom. And it says, when pondering the choice between kind or being right, choose kind, and you'll usually be right, okay? And so those are great steps. You can also ask yourself the question, does this thing I'm about to say add to the conversation? So Angelina and I have this great tool that we use in our marriage. We've been doing this for at least 20 years. Instead of saying, listen, let me just tell you what you just did. Dr. Phil would say, how's that work for you? And not so good. So we say this, our flower garden that we call life, our relationship, this marriage is Armand Angelina flower garden. I have a little weed in mine that I need to pull now so it doesn't get bigger. The minute I say I have a weed,
and it prepares me, okay, we're going to talk about something that may be uncomfortable, but we need to talk about it. So it is helpful to kind of prepare me that.
Little weed in our sweet garden. So the other day, I know I left something on the table and that was disorganized. But when you put it away, you didn't tell me where you put it, and I needed it, and you were gone, and I couldn't get it. That's never happened. Anyway, that's the kind of a thing that you can do in a relationship. A little bit of weed. A little bit of weed. There's a church all about that right here. The Canon Church. A little bit of weed. That's you. Awesome. I never thought of that together. Yeah, you pull the weed, but you have a little bit of weed sometimes to help you get through the time. Anyway.
Here's another tool that's really good. So if you're having a discussion and there's no place to go outside and sit, like we're in our van, I don't know how many days a year, like a lot.
Like 200.
And so, you can't like go out and sit in your chair because you're in it. So what I found is have water with you. And when he starts to say something, I take a sip of water. And I keep the water in my mouth, because if the water's in my mouth, I cannot talk. And so it really does work. It's a great tool. I don't even know where we got that.
And while you have the water in your mouth, you can think about what you want to say, but it won't be a
And then
reaction.
he knows if I have the water in my mouth that I'm bothered by something. And you know what? It's good for you. It hydrates you. Drinking water is great for you. So
And if I'm oblivious, which does happen from time to time, squirrel.
Right, if he doesn't stop, I will hand him the water so that he can drink it. That's right. So anyway, it's a really good tool.
All these little tools just help this yoga happen better. So we're going to go into a song that will be the finality of this particular part of Spiritually Uncuffed. And it deals with the concept of mirrors and projections. And basically, what I realized when I was struggling so much in trying to find healthy relationships is that I was wearing a projector on my head, and everyone I saw was a screen, and I projected onto them what was in my head, and went, ooh, I'm not exactly sure I like that. Kind of like going to a mirror in the morning. Let's say you go to the mirror in the morning, and your hair is just a mess. You just slept funny, you got things pushed up on one side, you look in the mirror and you go, wow, that does not look quite right. Must be the mirror. And then you go to another one. I did that 12 times. I kept going to the other mirrors and wondering why each mirror didn't look right. Because on some level, we're projecting onto that screen and onto that mirror what's coming from us. And then wondering why we don't like it. So change what you're projecting about yourself. And then that projection will change. So this is a country song. It's called Had to Be Somebody, all about changing the person within. A couple of years after I wrote the song, a few years after I wrote the song, I met Angelina. You know, and so it was like, yes, that kind of stuff works. You put out what you want, you focus on it, you do your prayer and meditation, you do an affirmation with, and you heal from the inside, and then your world shows up differently. It's a country song. We got any country folks out there, country music folks? Oh boy, okay. Well, I've been waiting for you to love me. I dressed up nice so she would see. I did everything I could to please you. I sang you a song so I could tease you. But I didn't know what to do to make you love me too. Cause I had to be somebody you could love. Had to be somebody. I had to see your love inside of me. Had to be somebody. Had to be somebody you could trust. Had to be somebody. Instead of looking at you, I started looking at me to be somebody. Had to be somebody, yeah. Well, I've had those that said they loved me. Whoa, they always held their heart above me. But that all changed when I found you. I even got married once before she left me too. But I didn't know what to do to give my heart to you. Cause I have to be somebody you could love. I had to be somebody. I had to see your love inside of me. Had to be somebody. Had to be somebody you could trust. Had to be somebody. Instead of looking at you and you and you, I started looking at me to be somebody. I had to be somebody, yeah. Okay, here comes some deep country. Change yourself and you'll change your world. Find yourself and you'll find that guy or girl. Whoa, whoa, whoa. George Strait, eat your heart out. Can you imagine George Strait now sing like this? Well, I wouldn't be straight no more, would he? Woo! Anyway. But then I found out what to do to give my heart to you. I had to be somebody you could love. Had to be somebody. Had to be your love inside of me. Had to be somebody. Had to be somebody you could trust. Had to be somebody. Instead of looking at you and you, I started looking at me to be somebody. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. I have to be somebody. Woo! right, Senator Church, we're seriously Uncuffed. Thanks for having us and loving us just for who we are.
Great.
I was running all back and forth trying to get this other laptop set up and situated because we're gonna sing a song together. Oh, you're moving things. Yes, please. Yes, please. Thank you very much. So there's a couple things. Actually, you know what? I would love to do first. Ari, can you hand me my phone right here? With this, the message that you all gave today reminded me of a text that I got from my wife at 2 a.m. this morning. And you think 2 a.m., like what was she saying? But a lot of what you all shared today, the theme, the Centers for Spiritual Living theme for this week is, and we're still together. And it came out of In Living Color, which is the monthly theme, and there's a skit from Mrs. and Mrs. Brooks where they're constantly fighting, and then somebody like walks in and they just cozy up together and say, we're still together. And so is healthy relationship an oxymoron? Absolutely perfect. Fully fit into this theme. So what came to my mind was this text I got at 2 a.m. About Carl Jung. Carl Jung said the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Because we don't just fall in love, we react. When two people connect deeply, it's not just emotional. Hormones shift. Brain waves sync. Even immune systems adjust. Real connection is an alchemy that rewires your mind and body. If it's real, you can't stay the same. Trauma doesn't block love. It reshapes how we love. We carry emotional scars in our nervous system like old burns. And when someone gets close, those places light up, not to hurt us, but to be felt. It's not that your partner triggers you. They activate what's been frozen. That ache, that fear, it's just the body asking, can I open here? Most problems in love are old wounds asking for presence, not fixing. The chaos you feel is actually transformation. Real intimacy isn't calm, it's catalytic. Like mixing fire and water, it brings heat, steam, and sometimes smoke. The patterns you learn to survive, people-pleasing, shutting down, needing control, can't coexist without real connection. So they fall apart. And that feels like everything's breaking, and maybe what's breaking is what no longer serves you. Spiritual growth hides in the mess. We chase peace in temples, but real awakening often begins in the bedroom or during a fight. Why? Because nothing shows you your edges like love. Your partner is your mirror, not your enemy. Every conflict is a disguised invitation. Will you present with your heart and theirs? That's not romance. That's spiritual practice. This is what Tantric Union, I don't know if this is a repost, Tantric Union on Instagram is where this came from. And it was a perfect opportunity for Tasha to set up our slideshow. This is it. Yes, thank you so much. So now is time for the conscious giving portion of our service. Mary Lee is gonna walk around the basket, and we ask you to give whatever it is your intuition, your spirit calls, whether that's energy, whether that is financial energy, whatever that is, we invite your spirit to lead. I heard y'all do a little like affirmation song while we do the passing of the basket. Yeah, you want to do that? Come on in. Thank you so much.
This is the prayer of St. Francis, and we changed it a little tiny bit. Love, make me an instrument of your peace. Join us if you'd like. Everything is optional, like clothing at a news resort. Why did I say that? Okay. Love, make me an instrument of your peace.
Bless it, Logan. If you put your hands on
Love,
bless the plate.
make me an instrument of your peace. Join us if you like. Love, make me an instrument
Can we give it up for Armand and Angelina? Yes, thanks, y'all. So I invite you to speak this conscious affirmation giving with me. And again, if it doesn't resonate with you, don't say it and feel free to talk to me about it afterwards. I live in abundance. I am filled with abundance. I give from abundance, and it transforms my life. Got a matrix around these microphones here. Does that? Thank you. Yay. All right. So, announcements. The Making Peace with Your Inner Talker is tonight at 8 p.m. This is a 90-day guided program, and the whole idea behind it is that you let your intuition lead. There's a 90-day structured program that is provided. We're actually coming up to the tail end of this round. We're going to start a virtual group on Tuesday nights super soon. But to be clear, when I say that this is a let your intuition lead kind of program, as I'm saying we're coming up to the end of it, we're probably in like day 75. I'm on day 25 right now. So it's about listening to your intuition. If your intuition says, hey, I could really use some dedicated practice to making peace with my inner mess talker, this might be supportive of me, feel free to jump in this group, and there'll be another one coming up that you can roll right into. And other things that we can do if that time doesn't work for you. Other thing is thank you, can we plug that in? Do you have the plug? Oh yeah, thank you, I appreciate it. So, What's Up and Why is a show that me and my cousin do that's on All Things New Thought Media Network, and the book study, the technology and me are like, this is the day. Thank you, appreciate it. So the virtual book study, the book Original Sins, The Miseducation of Native Children and the Construction of American Racism, started from a book study that my mom and I did back in 2021 of The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. And what was really wild for us about reading this book that was written in 1920 is Carter G. Woodson was writing about the state of the education system at that time. And what he wrote, what he said was, if things continue the way that they are, these are the kinds of things that are going to happen. This is what our culture is going to become. This is what the country is going to become. And to read this man's predictions in 1920, 100 years later, and to see them all manifest in front of us, it was like, all right, like Carter G. Woodson knew what he was talking about. And I ran into somebody who took this book study in California and said, when are you and your mom going to do another book study? I just love being in the presence of you and your mom and having this opportunity for me to really look at where our country comes from. I'd like to do something else. And when I came across this book, I heard about it on NPR. I was like, this is the perfect follow-up. And what really struck me about this book, the reason I went running to a bookstore when I heard this interview, was that the writer talks about how the country was intentionally designed, the education system that we are currently experiencing was a conscious construction of creating this culture of racism and continuing it. And as Armand talked about, of this community serving as the antivirus, that our education system might have designed us to be complicit in white supremacy, but we are serving as the antivirus here. This is an opportunity to read a book with a group of people. If you are not a reader, know that you are welcome here. No one's going to judge you for how quickly you move through the book or whether you ever open it or purchase it. That it would be a good place for you to participate in community around unlearning these things that our education system created for us 250 years ago. So we're coming up to that anniversary pretty soon. All right, community potluck. We have our potluck on the first Sunday of the month every month. I think we're going to do something different. We might have a more conscious discussion. The Leadership Council and I are going to meet and connect and talk a little bit about this right after this. So I wasn't going to do all of this over text message. But if any of you were here last week, or maybe I've spoken to you individually, I spoke of I don't even know if I gave you all a number, but that about $40,000 of funds were taken from our account that were not approved funds. approved for personal use. And with that situation, what it started with the recognition of the fact that this had occurred, the council coming together and identify what steps we need to take, not only to correct what has happened, but to also ensure that this doesn't happen anymore. And we've been having conversations, and the council has really, I really want to reiterate that the council is made up of a group of volunteers, many of whom work full-time and are really putting forth lots of time and work into correcting and resolving this. And so the community potluck, what I'm saying now, is the community potluck is an opportunity for us to have the conversation over a meal. Bring in some food, ask some questions, tell us your thoughts, tell us your opinions, and that's where we will invite you to do that. So that's the community potluck happening on the first Sunday of the month. And then we'll be hosting this meeting on July 13th, that our leadership council meeting that we normally have, we usually meet at this time, we'll be taking conversations, taking feedback that we get from you all at that community potluck and putting some of those things into practice at this meeting. So we're going to talk more logistics, and I will have a much clearer announcement for you. Actually, I won't, because I won't be here next week. I'm going to be in North Carolina living my best life with my family. But whoever is here will provide some detailed information as to what to expect at the community potluck and the following community meeting. And please come talk to me if you can't make either one of these events. If you have thoughts, questions, feelings, know that I am open and I'm available to have these conversations with you. All right. So is that it? Yes. So this is our last song. They gave me some lists, some options, and I was like, yeah, we haven't sang this song in this center for years. People got tired of it, but it's been, some of you have not been here, don't know, maybe don't even know the song. So maybe you do. I don't know what you sing and where you came from, but grateful that they invited us to sing it again with them, and that we'd be closing out Spiritually Uncuffed with this together.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So we changed the groove, made it a little more upbeat, and we also we're going to use the words "Yes, there is peace on earth" to put it real positive, and do the rock and roll. Oh, and so it is. It's almost like there's a God. Now I would like to say one last thing, because what the technical challenges. The world and the country for many centuries has been left brain dominant. It just has been left brain dominant, and they like to stay that because that's what they believe is the best. And as the right brain world comes more into play, there will be resistance. Technology might do weird stuff. There's resistance, but the resistance is a painful sign that growing pains are happening to move to more of a left-right balanced world. And so if you can have that future positivity to know that when things change for the better, there's often resistance. And it just kept showing up today where the left brain stuff wasn't working and the right brain is here. But again, we're trying to find this balance like in our brain. You have to have the left and the right brain working together for the most optimal life. Okay, this is the peace song. Yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that is meant to be, with God as creator, and we are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Yes, there is peace on earth. Yes, this is the moment now, right now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow to take Go on. No, I mean, go on.
Armand and Angelina would want everyone to have their music, so they offer their CDs and books on a suggested exchange basis. Please take what you desire, give from your heart, and feel free to tithe in the future if you don't have it now. If you would like to support their ministry, there is a purple basket, and right over there where you may make contributions. And that's all we got from you. Have the best week ever.
Woo! Thank you all, really. Happy trails.